All right, Robert. Like we say at Veteran Hiring Solutions, people don't follow companies, they follow leaders. So I'm really excited for them to meet you, learn about your family history with the organization, and then about this field service shop tech position that we're going to discuss. But first, introduce yourself to the veteran job seeker, your position there, and what brought you to that moment.
Okay, great. Thanks, Justin. My name's Robert Reiser. I am the owner of Wilevco. I have been here just a little bit over 6 years. Wilevco sells food machinery to big food manufacturers like Tyson and Cargill and ConAgra, mostly batter breading and frying lines. And I am in this part of the business because my grandfather started a company in the 1950s selling European food machinery that my father and uncle still run today, that I worked with at some point and wanted to stay around the industry and have my own thing. And 6 years
Yeah,
later,
it's a family business, right? It's in the genes.
it's in the genes.
That's awesome. Well, that's great. And then, so now what you're looking for to join your team is like a hybrid shop slash field service tech, right?
We have a model where we
Yep.
would like you to assemble the machine,
Hmm.
and then the machine gets sent out to our customers, which could be nationwide, and in some cases Canada, in some cases even elsewhere in the world, Australia, England, Europe, sometimes exciting places, sometimes not.
Yeah.
The machine, and then you go out and you commission it, which means you train the operators and the maintenance and the sanitation and how to use it and how to get the best results out of it. So that means
Oh,
just getting the motors to turn, but gee, we want more breading on this. How do we do that? So there's a lot of
mhm.
application knowledge and stuff that we got to get you up to speed on as well.
Well, this is cool. So they're going to construct that piece of equipment per the client specs
Yeah.
inside the shop. Then it's shipped out to the client. Then they're going to fly out there and be that technical expert that's going to help them implement that product inside of their process. And then they'll train them, and they'll be training the maintenance operations, right? Kind of, hey, this is how you manage this.
We have a saying that the mission statement of the service department, actually at my father's business, but it says we service our customers and their machines.
Mm.
There's that pause in there.
I love that. I love that. Well, it's so much, just I think anybody that's buying something for somebody wants to know you at least care, right? Do you care about this? And what I like about this role is it's kind of that blend of, hey, you're in the shop with the team, right? The coworkers there, but then you still get scratch that itch if you like to travel and go out there and be the face of the company. Can you explain to the audience, like, what does that travel look like? How much are they hanging out in the shop working and building things, and how much are they out there implementing?
Yeah, we're saying it's probably 60% travel. It might be
Okay.
closer to 50. And
Hmm.
we see a few different times where you would travel. So again, going out to commission those machines. We also have maintenance time at customers. Customers will have shutdowns in
Hmm.
either July or June when it's hottest, and we will go and do some work on their machines. And we also have breakdowns in routine maintenance and let's call it non-routine maintenance, where we have to get sometimes on short notice on a plane and get out to a customer
Hmm.
and solve their problems.
And
So
those installs, are those a few days, a few weeks? What's that time look like?
it's usually about a week. Our motto is really travel. Usually you're going to travel Monday morning, come back
Hmm.
Friday when you're traveling. So I would say
Okay.
a whole week when you're traveling.
Oh, that's great. That's not bad. And again, what I like is that, you're not a road warrior always on the road. You're not always in the shop. You get that nice blend of both.
You're
What?
going to have some variety. You're going to have to
Mhm.
think on your toes a little bit. There are
Yeah.
some people who like the variety of being out on the road, and there's some people who like the more structure of being in the shop. And we're
Mhm.
looking at somebody who likes both.
Yeah. And also from a skill set, they're going to see the equipment. We'll make sure they see all that equipment, but it's light fabrication on the metal side, right? You're using hand tools for putting everything together, but everything's energized, right? So there's wire diagrams, but it's not like they're doing high voltage 480, anything like that, right?
It is no, it's 480.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. Good to
Most
know.
machines are 480 voltage. We're
Okay.
moving to a model where the panel is built out of house, and then
Oh.
you mount the panel onto the standoffs that are there, and do
Mhm.
what I call the field wiring. So you're wiring it to the motors. We would really like someone who's a little more electrically biased.
Mm.
So you troubleshoot a PLC? Can you load a program into a PLC? Can you change a PLC in an HMI? Do you know what a drive is? Can you open your laptop to diagnose what's going on in the machine?
Mhm.
Stepping backwards, mechanically, you're right. Light fabrication, hand tools,
Yeah.
ratchets and sockets, wrenches, maybe two people to put a pump in place because it weighs 60 pounds, but light, light assembly.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we brought up the electrical because I really thought it was more mechanically based. But that troubleshooting through computers, the resetting PLCs, yeah, that makes much more sense now.
And it's a straightforward. We're mostly Allen Bradley. We're moving from micro logics to compact logics, straightforward programs. So uh, you know, the equipment is one part of it, and the equipment I'm not going to call it simple. I'll call it straightforward. But getting it to do what we want it to do and getting the customer a great experience is a big part of this. Our
Mhm.
machinery is less complicated than the space shuttle,
Yeah.
but at the same time provides a lot of challenges. You have something different every day. We have one customer who tells us when they're down, it costs them $48 a minute. We got to get it up and running again. So
Mhm.
lots of challenges around getting it up and running, getting a great customer experience, getting the product they want.
Well, the field service, I say the sales guy, he does the deal, but the field service person is the face of the company. They're
Uh,
the ones coming out there so more frequently than the salesperson.
and the sales guy gets the first deal, and the installers, demonstrators, field service, it's all the same person, different terms. They sell the next 10 machines. And we really believe that. Part of our model for growth is that somebody with a Wilevco shirt needs to be showing up more often at customers, saying
Mhm.
hello, maybe bringing in some donuts, but taking a look at the machines, being very visible.
I love that. Yeah. Well, again, they're, hey, we're going to call the Wilevco guy, and it's that person.
Yeah,
It's the field service person.
yeah.
What about the shop itself? Are they? You mentioned, hey, there's the pump 60 pounds, so two people put that in. But when they're in the shop, are they kind of by themselves doing their own thing, or is there a team of people assembling these pieces of equipment together?
We have 3 bays in the shop, and the idea is that each person has the bay and takes responsibility for a machine.
Mm,
We 2 to 3 people in the shop. We are combining the shop manager and service manager role. So he's sitting right there in an office, but he's a very hands-on person. Has an engineering degree, but came out of field service
mm.
and being a field technician himself. So yesterday he was out there doing some work on a panel, doing a lot of troubleshooting for a customer. So he's very visible. He's very there. He's very supportive and hands-on. Servant
Oh,
lead
good.
who knows his job is to make his people shine, and he's very empowered in that. So you'll be
Oh, that's great.
people, but you'll have responsibility for the machine yourself.
Okay. And then, I think I have a pretty good view of what, once they see the equipment, they'll have a pretty good understanding of the role. Is there anything you wanted, hey, is there challenges that they're going to have to tackle when they first get there, right? Every new role, there's training, you've got to learn things. What challenges do you expect them to take on when they first get there? Is it learning the equipment and learning the customer base? Is there anything else?
So there's a few, and some of them I think will be focused on Wilevco and where we are, and some of will be the person in their growth. So on the Wilevco side, our drawings are not all complete. We need to work on our drawings. It leads to some challenges around bills of materials. It leads to some challenges when we're trying to do customizations for customers that we think will come together and
Yeah.
maybe a little shoehorning. So that's on the Wilevco side, and we have a whole plan for addressing that. On the individual side, depending on their experience, learning the machines, getting the assembly drawings, understanding the tips and tricks. We're also making a big concerted effort to write down those tips and tricks.
Hmm.
There's certainly more tribal knowledge than I would like. And then the application knowledge is going to be the big one. You have
Yeah.
to be curious. You have to be really, really curious if you want to be successful, because at the end of the day, it's not about getting that motor to turn. It's about getting the product that the customer wants. So
Mm.
there is a lot of thinking on your feet. There's a lot of using the knowledge that we're going to work with you to get, but you have to be motivated to get the right outcome for the customer.
I feel like hey, you have to be a really good technician, communicator, but a tinkerer too, right? That's what you say curious is that tinkerer that likes to naturally at home, play with equipment because that's what you're going to do there as you're building out those drawings and everything, is
This is
having that kind of curious mentality.
Yeah, this is probably somebody who's done a few brake jobs on their own cars. This is somebody who installs a dishwasher in their house. This is
Yeah.
somebody who has wired up the Wi-Fi and the switches in the basement to get wireless around the house and created their own network at home. This is
Mhm.
somebody who maybe bought an Allen Bradley PLC somewhere and created something in the house to turn it on, automate something. I don't know. I can
That's funny.
tell a dimmer
Yeah.
switch, so that's not me. But
No, I was going to say the same thing. That is not me.
so somebody who likes to tinker, it is probably not somebody who's we want to document, have the right paperwork, but it's probably some people who come out of, let's say, the aerospace are so document driven. Here we have a real opportunity. We have a real opportunity to fix the customer's problem. And maybe we put a different pump on, and maybe we put a different flux capacitor on, or whatever it is. Hopefully the people listening to this understand what a flux capacitor is.
Mhm.
If they don't, they might not be a fit. So it's less regulated, so it means that sometimes there's less information, but there's also, you've got to be able to make those changes. So you're empowered to make those changes. If we want to change a pump, we change a pump.
That's good. I love that ownership, right? Because anybody that's coming in, they should own it. They should own the order. This is my equipment. This is my client. I'm going in there and I'm giving them the right experience.
Yeah.
Well, good. I have everything I need. Is there anything you wanted to get across, to the audience before we wrap up this video?
Yeah, I think I'll say we're a small business with 12 people.
Mm-hmm.
We're based outside of north of Boston. So I think somebody could live in southern New Hampshire where the cost of living is a lot lower and you get a lot more space. Or if you're really a city person, want to live in Boston, or we have somebody who comes from Manchester, New Hampshire, great. And this has to be somebody who is ready to work in a unrefined or unstructured environment, right? Where we're going to have to figure things out sometimes, where not everything is there, where all the documentation may not be there, and dealing with customers who are often panicked. It's high volume, low margin, perishable product, and we need to solve their problems now and get it up and running. Even when we don't have all the answers, even when we don't have all the information, bias to action, and some Hemingway grace under pressure.
Colonel Powell always said you have to be comfortable moving forward with 70% of the information.
Yeah. That's a good. So former Joint Chief Chairman Casey talked about it, VUCA, and I'll get it wrong. Variable, unpredictable. I can't remember all of them, but took some classes with him and how to prepare yourself for those environments that are unstructured and changing all the time.
And that's the thing about military service. For me, I feel comfortable in that. Chaos creates opportunity.
Yes, that's a great one. Chaos creates opportunity.
Well, great. Well, again, Robert, I appreciate you so much for putting yourself out there. I know it's unique to do this, but I really appreciate it. We're going to get this out to the community. When we find that right veteran, we're going to send them to you.
We're looking forward to it.